Welcome to Speaking Practice. Today we're going to practice describing and comparing cafes, ordering food, and using comparative adjectives. Here's how it works. I'll ask you a question, then you'll hear a pause. During the pause, answer out loud. After the pause, you'll hear a model answer. Don't worry if your answer is different. There are many good ways to answer. We'll start easy with short answers, and then move to longer descriptions. Ready? Let's go. Let's start with some quick, single-sentence answers. Imagine a cafe with big windows and lots of sunlight. Is the cafe bright or dark?
The cafe is bright.
It's Saturday afternoon. The cafe is full of people. How do you describe the cafe?
The cafe is very crowded.
Your friend doesn't want to cook tonight. She wants to go to a restaurant. Does she want to eat in or eat out?
She wants to eat out.
The tram cafe has hard wooden chairs. Rosie's kitchen has big, soft sofas. Which cafe is more comfortable?
Rosie's kitchen is more comfortable.
A coffee at Cafe A costs €3. A coffee at Cafe B costs €5. Which cafe is more expensive?
Cafe B is more expensive than Cafe A.
The bread at this bakery was made this morning. Is the bread fresh or old?
The bread is fresh.
You're at a restaurant. The waiter is ready. What do you need to do?
I need to order food.
Cafe A is quiet. Cafe B has loud music and many people talking. Which cafe is noisier?
Cafe B is noisier than Cafe A.
You finished your meal and you want to know the total price. What do you ask for?
I ask to get the bill.
Which is healthier, a salad or a pizza?
A salad is healthier than a pizza.
You walk into a cafe and find an empty table. What do you do?
I find a table and take a seat.
Your friend makes amazing pasta. You can't cook very well. Whose cooking is better?
My friend's cooking is better than mine.
In some cafes you don't order at the table. You go to a special place near the kitchen. What is it called?
It's called the counter.
A new cafe just opened. It has a modern design with new furniture and technology. Is the cafe modern or old?
The cafe is modern.
Great work. You're doing really well. Now let's try some longer answers. Now I'll ask questions that need 2 or 3 sentences. Take your time. Compare the tram cafe and Rosie's kitchen. The tram cafe has big windows but hard chairs. Rosie's kitchen is darker but has soft sofas. Which is brighter? Which is more comfortable?
The tram cafe is brighter than Rosie's kitchen. But Rosie's kitchen is more comfortable because the sofas are softer.
Do you prefer to eat in or eat out? Why? Give a reason.
I prefer to eat out because the food is more delicious. But eating out is more expensive than eating in.
Cafe A has fresh salads and fruit juice. Cafe B has pizza and chips. Compare the food at both cafes.
The food at Cafe A is fresher and healthier than the food at Cafe B, but the food at Cafe B is probably more delicious.
You arrive at a self-service cafe. What do you do first, and what do you do next? Tell me 2 or 3 steps.
First, I find a table and take a seat. Then I get a menu and choose my meal. After that, I order food and pay at the counter.
There's a cafe that's always full of people. It's very loud inside. Why do you think it's so crowded and noisy?
Well, the cafe is very popular because the food is fresh and delicious. That's why it's always crowded and noisy.
Cafe Jewel costs €20 for lunch. The underground cafe costs €10. Compare the prices.
Cafe Jewel is more expensive than the underground cafe. The underground cafe is less expensive and better for my budget.
A tourist asks you how to find the new cafe near the park. Tell them, go straight, cross the street, and go past the park. Use 2 or 3 sentences.
Go straight along this road. Then cross the street and go past the park. The cafe is on the left.
You tried 2 restaurants. One had amazing food, the other had terrible food. Compare them using better and worse.
The first restaurant was much better than the second one. The food at the second restaurant was worse than I expected.
Imagine a cafe where robots bring your food. Would you like to go there? Is it strange or cool?
I think a robot cafe is a bit strange but also really cool. I'd like to go there because it's modern and unusual.
Your friend asks, which cafe would you like to go to? The new modern one or the old comfortable one? What do you say?
I prefer the old comfortable one because the seats are nicer. The modern cafe is cool, but it's a bit more expensive.
Excellent. Your answers are getting longer and more detailed. Now let's try something bigger. Now it's time for a bigger challenge. I'll give you a hint about what to include, then ask a question. Try to answer with 4 to 6 sentences. Now, a bigger challenge. Try to mention the atmosphere, the food, the price, and which one is better. Imagine you know 2 cafes, the Sunshine Cafe and the Garden Cafe. The Sunshine Cafe is bright and modern but crowded. The Garden Cafe is small and quiet but more expensive. Compare the 2 cafes.
The Sunshine Cafe is brighter and more modern than the Garden Cafe. But it's always very crowded and noisy. The Garden Cafe is smaller and quieter. The food is fresher and healthier there, but it's a bit more expensive. I think the Garden Cafe is better because it's more comfortable. I prefer a quiet place to eat.
Good. Now try again. Use some ideas from the model answer if you like. Next challenge. Try to mention finding a table, getting a menu, ordering, paying the bill. Use words like first, then, after that. A friend from another country is visiting. He has never been to a cafe in your city. Explain how to order food at a typical cafe here. Give step-by-step instructions.
First, find a table and take a seat. You can sit anywhere that's free. Then, get a menu from the counter or ask the waiter. Choose your meal and order food at the counter. Don't forget to pay the bill before you leave. Enjoy your food.
Good. Now try again. Use some ideas from the model answer if you like. One more challenge. Try to mention what makes it unusual, how it looks inside, the food, and whether you would like to go there. Imagine a cafe where cats walk around the tables and you can play with them while you eat. Describe this unusual cafe. Would you like to go there?
This cafe is really strange but very cool. It's bright and comfortable inside, with soft sofas everywhere. The food is fresh and healthy, and it's not too expensive. There are cats on every table. It's a bit noisy because of the cats, but it's popular with many people. I would love to go there because it's more fun than a normal cafe.
Good. Now try again. Use some ideas from the model answer if you like. And one more. Try to mention the food, the atmosphere, the price, and your preference. Use comparatives like bigger, more delicious, healthier. Compare having breakfast at home with having breakfast at a cafe. Which do you think is better?
Eating in is cheaper than eating out for breakfast. The food at home is healthier because I can choose fresh ingredients. But breakfast at a cafe is more delicious and more comfortable, you don't need to cook. Cafes are a bit more expensive, but the atmosphere is nicer. I prefer eating out for breakfast on weekends because it's more fun.
Good. Now try again. Use some ideas from the model answer if you like. Wonderful. You're making great progress. Now let's talk about your real life. There are no wrong answers here, just talk about yourself. Think about your favorite cafe or restaurant. Try to mention how it looks, the food, the price, whether it's crowded, and why you like it. Describe your favorite cafe or restaurant. What is it like? Why do you prefer it? Here's an example of how I would answer this.
My favorite cafe is a small place near my house. It's bright and comfortable with big windows. The food is fresh and healthy, and it's not very expensive. It's a bit crowded on weekends, but during the week it's nice and quiet. I prefer this cafe because it's more comfortable than the big modern cafes in the city center.
Now try one more time with your own answer. Think about two restaurants or cafes you know. Try to compare the food, the atmosphere, the price. Use comparative adjectives: brighter, more comfortable, cheaper, healthier, better. Compare two cafes or restaurants that you know in real life. Which one do you prefer and why? Here's an example of how I would answer this.
I know two good cafes near my office. The first one is modern and bright, but it's more expensive and always crowded. The second one is smaller and darker, but the food is fresher and healthier. The seats are more comfortable too. The second cafe is less popular, so it's quieter. I prefer the second one because the food is better and it's less expensive.
Now try one more time with your own answer. Amazing work! You just practiced comparing cafes, ordering food, and using comparative adjectives, from single sentences all the way to full descriptions. That's real progress. A tip for you: pick one question from today and answer it again tomorrow. Try to add one more detail each time. For example, tomorrow try to describe a new cafe you visited. Say if it's brighter, noisier, or more comfortable than your usual place. See you next time on Speaking Practice. Keep talking.